Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Charlotte Ashman. Welcome to my channel where we discuss everything educational and inspirational. Now, in today's video, we're going to be looking at the Chinese and East Indians in Jamaica. And before we begin, I'm just powering off my cell phone. All right, there we go. So we're looking at PEP social studies, and this lesson is going to help the grade 6 students. All right, so this will actually help with the curriculum-based test. All right, so if you know someone who is in grade 6, this is for grade 6 students only. Just tell them to come and join the live. I mean, if they're up, because this is really going to help. And after the live, I normally post my videos to my channel. It's Pep Talk with Dr. Charlotte Ashman. And we also post our Facebook page, Learning Hub JA, and our PEP page on Facebook. All right, so tonight we're going to be using this workbook. It's PEP practice for grades 4, 5, and 6 students. And notice it says grade 6. All right. Now, this particular workbook follows the Ministry of Education's curriculum objective by objective. So I'm telling you, if you go through this workbook, you would have gone through all the objectives on the curriculum. Trust me. All right. So I am going to open the workbook on our website, learninghub.online, and we're going to do a whole lot of work tonight. All right. And remember, you can watch the video on my YouTube channel, Pep Talk with Dr. Charlotte Ashman, or on Facebook, Learning Hub JA, or PEP. That's our Facebook page. Okay, let's go. So I would like for you to see the screen. All right, so I'm in the website and I'm actually in the teachers section. All right. And the first thing on the PEP social studies curriculum is the Chinese and East Indians in Jamaica. And you'll notice when you open the curriculum, there are terms that you need to know. So what we have done on Learning Hub is to give you an interactive glossary of those terms that you really need to know. So let's look at those. So the first thing that you need to do is to define and use the following terms: indentured servant, indentureship, contract, festival, carnival, and immigrant. You need to know those terms. All right. So like I said, these terms: develop working definitions for, this is actually the objective from the syllabus. Develop working definitions for and use the following: indentured servant, indentureship, contract, festival, carnival, and immigrant. Those are terms you must know. So let's look at what those terms mean. All right, so the first term is carnival, right? And carnival is an annual festival that is held typically during the week before Lent in Roman Catholic countries. It is a period of public enjoyment and entertainment involving processions, dancing, and music. That's carnival. Let's look at contract. A contract is a voluntary, deliberate, and binding agreement between two or more individuals, creating certain rights and duties. Let's look at festival. A festival is a day or time of religious or other celebration, which is marked by feasting, ceremonies, dancing, or other observances. That's festivals. And for I, we have indentured servant, an individual who is contracted to work for another individual for a certain period of time in exchange for items such as free passage to a new country, clothing, shelter, and other necessities. Indentureship. And notice our glossary is interactive, so all you have to do is click on the word and it will open up the meaning. So indentureship was a voluntary labor system in which indentured servants agreed to enter into a contract to work for minimum wage. Once the period of indentureship was completed, the servants had an option of either returning to their country of origin or receiving a grant of land. Immigrant, an individual who leaves their country of origin to live in another country permanently, usually to increase their welfare. So these are terms that you need to know for PEP social studies, okay? All right. So let me tell you what we're going to do. All right. What I'd like for you to do is, hold on a second. I'd like for you to define and use the following phrase in a sentence. All right, we're not going to define. What I want you to do is to use the word, the phrase indentured servant in a sentence. I also want you to use indentureship, contract, festival, carnival, immigrant. All right, so we're going to start with indentured servant. I want you to just write up a sentence on Facebook for those of you who are on with me, and we'll discuss it. And we're going to move on to indentureship, contract, festival, and so on. Something I want to point out to you as well, guys, you'll notice that on the Learning Hub, you will see 1.1. What that means is that this is the first thing that's on your curriculum. So 1.1 means that you are supposed to be doing this in term one, and it's the first thing. 1.2 means term one. So the one at the front, that means term one, and two means the second thing. So this is promoting and preserving Caribbean culture. So the entire curriculum is on the Learning Hub. 1.3 is term one, third thing, independence in Jamaica, Haiti, and Cuba. 1.4, national symbols, and so on. 2.1, now we're in term two, so you're supposed to be looking at mountain environments and human activities, and you're going to move next to land masses and water bodies, and locating places using lines of latitude and longitude. 2.4, decision making. And next term, you're going to be looking at factors influencing climate and Earth's movement. Oh, you're also looking at air pollution and cooperating with our Caribbean neighbors. All right. So that's your entire PEP grade 6 curriculum. So tonight we're just starting out, we're looking at the important terms. All right, so here you go. I want you to define, well, not define, I want you to use the following phrase in a sentence: indentured servant. So let's see what you have. Indentured servants. I see 9 comments already. Let's look. All right, so let me welcome all of you who are on Facebook: Hopel Nicholson, Marcia Davis, Megan Angus, Tasha Jarrett, Jaquan Burke, Macia Davis, Shernet Ellis, Reshma Sharma. Reshma, you're here every night. Denisha, Jade Morgan, Grace Surreal. Welcome, guys. Happy to have you. All right, so give me indentured servants in a sentence. So Denicia says, my ancestors were indentured servants before they died. The indentured servant traveled from China to work on the sugar plantation. All right, okay, cool. So let's see how you handle the next term or word, indentureship. Let's see how you handle that, indentureship. Let's see what we have on the Learning Hub. So we have the definition: an individual who is contracted to work for another individual for a certain period of time in exchange for items such as free passage to a new country, food, clothing, shelter, and other necessities. And the sentence is: poor and unemployed individuals from Europe migrated as indentured servants to work on tobacco farms in the Caribbean. All right, so we have that sentence. And actually, I would want to say from Asia, as indentured servants to work on the tobacco farms in the Caribbean, to make it factual, okay? All right, so look at indentureship. Look at indentureship. I want to see how you use indentureship in a sentence. So Kim Waller is saying the Chinese volunteered for indentureship. Okay. Christine McKenzie, I was to receive new indentured servants for my plantation in May. Okay. All right. We're on to indentureship, guys. Indentureship. And we prefer if the sentence is true. But the fact of the matter is, we just want to see how you use it in a sentence. Okay. In school, the teacher, let me look at Denisha. In school, the teacher always teaches us about indentureship. Okay, cool, guys. So let's move on. Let's look at contract. Contract. We hear that term branded around all the time. Contract. Branded about, rather. Let's see what you have for contract. Let's look at contract. I'm not seeing anything for contract, guys. Let me see some things for contract. All right, Tandy, they all work on a contract. Okay. All right. Let me see your sentence, Denisha. Back in the days, the Indians and Chinese signed a contract. What about during the period of indentureship? The Indians and Chinese signed a contract, okay? Not so sure if I like back in the days. Tanya, the Indians came to work on a contract. I made a contract with the Chinese to work as a teacher. Okay, cool. All right, nice. So let's look at the other term or word. Festival. Let me see how you handle that. Festival. Because at the end of the day, what the curriculum is saying is that you should know these terms and you should be able to use them in sentences. Okay? And we're going to check that in a little bit. So festival. Let's look at festival. Festival. Let's look at festival. Okay, guys, let's start posting festival, your sentences. Right? The festival is kept at least once per year. Okay, so Tandy, you have the first sentence. Oh, all right, guys, I want to see your sentences. My teacher talks about the festival in Trinidad and Tobago a lot. Megan, festivals can be secular and religious, or I don't know, maybe or. Okay. Mitzi, today is the day of the festival. Okay. All right, cool, guys. I see you're using festival in a sentence. All right. What about carnival? How would you use carnival in a sentence? Give me some factual sentences for carnival. Some factual sentences for carnival. Right? Okay, Talia, I see you're still on festival. We have the JC, we always have a JCDC festival every year, but we're on to carnival now. Marva, you're still on festival. I went to a festival yesterday. Come on, carnival now, guys. I want a factual sentence. Carnival. All right, so carnival is a celebration kept in Rio. Mitzi, what kind of sentence is that? Jamaica copied carnival from Trinidad. Seriously? um, Cassandra, carnival is celebrated in Eastern Caribbean, in the Eastern Caribbean. Oh, carnival is postponed. I guess you mean was postponed for 2020. All right. Where you had that one? Okay, Keisha King. Yeah, our carnival was postponed in 2020. Yeah. Carnival is celebrated all over the Caribbean in different ways. Peter Gay. All right, cool. All right, now let's move on to something else. Now, one of the reasons why I really love the Learning Hub, notice The objective is to develop working definitions for and use the terms, right? So we've presented it to you in this manner through with the glossary, the interactive glossary, and your test your knowledge. And notice also that we have a video here. Okay, so if you just wanted to sit back and watch the video, you can do that. So we're still talking about the
Develop working definitions for the following and use them in sentences. Indentured servant, indentureship, contract, festival, carnival, immigrant.
So guys, you can always return to the Learning Hub and watch that video with the important terms. We're going to move along because we already spoke about the terms. All right. Now, I actually like this test your knowledge because here we have a passage and it's asking us to actually fill in the blank with the terms. Okay. So I'm going to go down to because we're on the teacher side, I'm going to use the library and I'm going to go down to social studies. And I am going to pull up this very book that we're using. Remember, guys, we're using this social studies workbook, PEP practice for grades 4, 5, and 6 students. And you can get this workbook at all the major bookstores, Kingston Bookshop, Bryant's Bookstore, Sangster's Bookstore, and all the major bookstores in Jamaica. And if you don't want to head to the bookstore, you can also purchase the book on learninghubebooks.com. That's www.learninghubebooks.com. All right. And guys, please remember that on Mondays and Wednesdays, I teach a social studies class on Zoom, and the class is $2,000 per month if you can afford to pay. If you cannot pay, you can come for free. And parents, you don't need to send me any WhatsApp telling me that you can't pay. I mean, it's my policy. If you can't pay, you just can't pay. Just come for free. You don't need to ask permission. If you can pay, just let us know and we'll send you the account information. All right. So the only thing that we require is that you must have your workbook because we're using it in class. All right. So I'm going to just open the workbook and I'm going to go to this particular exercise. I want to see how you guys do with it. All right, hold on a second. Let me see if it shows better on the website itself because we do have this exercise on the website instead of using the book. Let me see. Maybe we get a better zoom on the website. Yeah, I think we do. All right, guys, so let's go. So we're using these terms: indentured servants, indentureship, contracts, festival, carnival, immigrants, culture, heritage, and ethnic groups. So we're going to start from the first one. In the period following the abolition of slavery in Jamaica, East Indians and Chinese migrants entered into what? In which they agreed to come to the Caribbean to work. This system was known as what? And the Dash eventually began mixing and sharing their own culture, which included specific foods, cuisine, dance, music, religion, jewelry, and fashion. Aspects of their culture can today be observed within traditional Caribbean celebrations, such as the Trinidad Wat and Jamaica Wat, Jamaica food and drink Wat. Some of these migrant laborers decided to settle in the Caribbean and become Wat instead of returning to their homeland. Among the contributions of the East Indian population to the Jamaican Dash is the celebration of Jose, which symbolizes the creative exchanges made between East Indians and African Creole cultures. The Chinese Jamaicans Dash has significantly impacted Jamaican culture. For example, Vincent Randichin, along with his wife Patricia, through their label VP Records, were instrumental in promoting the careers of artists such as Beenie Man and Sean Paul. In 2013, Tesson Chin, a representative of the Jamaican Chinese Dash, was named the winner of season 5 of the Voice Talent Competition in the United States. All right, let's see if we can fill in the blank with these terms. All right, guys, what I'm going to suggest that you grab a pen and paper and write down the terms so you have them before you as we go through the passage. So I want you to write, or you can take your phone and just capture the screen. I want you to have this before you: indentured servants, indentureship, contracts, festival, carnival, immigrants, culture, heritage, and ethnic group. And then you have those before you, write them down or take a screenshot, and then we're going to discuss them. We're going to try to fill in the blank with those terms, okay? All right. Let me know when you're finished writing down the terms: indentured servants, indentureship, contracts, festival, carnival, immigrants, culture, heritage, and ethnic group. Let me know when you're finished writing those down, and then we can move right along. Okay, just say finish. Tanya is asking that I repeat the information about the class. On Mondays and Wednesdays, I have a social studies class for grade 6 students on Zoom. So if you need information on that particular class, I'm going to just put a banner at the end, at the bottom of the screen, so you can get it's there. You're just going to WhatsApp 351-7777 to get more information. But really, the class is $2,000 per month if you can afford to pay, or if your parents can afford to pay. And if you cannot afford to pay, it's free. So you just come for free. The only thing is you need to have the social studies workbook. All right, finish. Good. All right, so let's see if we can tackle this, and then we call it a day. All right, so the first blank says, in the period following the abolition of slavery in Jamaica, East Indians and Chinese migrants entered into blank. What did they enter into? Okay, let's see. What did the Chinese enter into? And some background, I know some of you guys missed out on September, so let me give you a little bit of background. Remember, guys, when slavery was abolished, right, the plantation owners, they still had their plantations and they needed workers, right? So what happened was that they had to find persons to replace the Africans who were no longer slaves. Some Africans decided that they would go back and work for pay, while some did not want to work for the plantation owners because they had a bad experience on the plantation. You can just imagine, right? So what the plantation owners did, they actually entered into contracts with Chinese and East Indians. So they actually entered into these contracts, these indentureships. And those individuals actually came to Jamaica to work for pay and for lodging and that kind of a thing. And there were times when they actually got land, or they got their passage paid to go back to their land of origin. So, that's the background into the Chinese and East Indians in Jamaica. So this particular passage is asking you to, just testing to see if you can actually use the terms that we discussed earlier: indentured servants, indentureship, contracts, festival, carnival, immigrants, culture, heritage, and ethnic group correctly, all right? But just to give you a background. All right, so in the period following the abolition of slavery in Jamaica, East Indians and Chinese migrants entered into what? Okay, so I see a number of persons saying contract, okay, I'm not telling you if it's right or wrong, in which they agreed to come to the Caribbean to work, okay? This system was known as, what was this system known as? Let me see you post what the system was known as. What was it known as? So they entered into contract, you guys say, and it was known as what? Okay, so Tanya, I see you're saying it was known as indentureship, okay? All right. Um, the Dash eventually began mixing and sharing their own culture, which included specific foods, cuisine, dance, music, religion, jewelry, and fashion. So what should go there? The Dash eventually began mixing and sharing their own culture, which included specific foods, cuisine, dance, music, religion, jewelry, and fashion. The indentured servants, okay. See a number of persons saying indentured servants. Not telling if you're right or wrong. Aspects of their culture can today be observed within traditional Caribbean celebrations, such as the Trinidad what? Trinidad what? We're at this blank here, such as the Trinidad what? Trinidad what? Trinidad Festival, Okay. I'm only seeing one person answering Trinidad. I don't know if it's Trinidad Festival, So aspects of their culture can today be observed within traditional Caribbean celebrations such as the Trinidad Dash and Jamaica food and drink something. Okay. So what is it? Yes, I see people saying the Trinidad Carnival. Yeah. Trinidad Carnival. I think that's more like it. And Jamaica food and drink what? What should go in that blank? So Trinidad Carnival and Jamaica food and drink what? What should go in that blank? Jamaica Food and Drink Festival. Yeah, that looks like it. Some of these migrant laborers decided to, so that's Rejma, you're always giving great answers. Some of these migrant laborers decided to settle in the Caribbean and become what? Okay, instead of returning to their homeland. What did they, when they settled in the Caribbean? Remember now, guys, we're using the terms. We're trying to fill in the blanks using these terms: indentured servants, indentureship, contracts, festival, carnival, immigrants, culture, heritage, and ethnic groups. So ethnic group. So tell me now, some of these migrant laborers decided to settle in the Caribbean and become what instead of returning to their homeland? So what did they settle and become? Okay, I need to see what they settled and become. Okay. All right, so Reshma is saying immigrants, Megan is saying immigrants, Denisha is saying immigrants, Tanya, you're saying immigrants, okay? So you're saying that they decided to become immigrants, okay? Mitzi saying immigrants, Kim Walla saying immigrants, okay? Da, 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 instead of returning to their homeland. Among the contributions of the East Indian population to the Jamaican what is the celebration of Jose? What should go here? Among the contributions of the East Indian populations to the Jamaican what? What should go there? That one has some people, because I see Megan saying ethnic groups. I'm not so sure about that. So this one is saying among the contributions of the East Indian population to the Jamaican ethnic group. I don't think so. It's a celebration of Jose. I don't think it's ethnic groups. Okay, so Mitzi, I see you're saying culture. I tend to agree with you that it may be culture instead of ethnic groups. Let's go down and see. Yeah, number of persons saying culture now. Yeah, following Mitzi. All right. So it's Oze, which symbolizes the creative exchanges made between East Indians and African Creole cultures. The Chinese Jamaicans dash has significantly impacted Jamaican culture. So the Chinese Jamaican what? What? What should go there? Chinese Jamaican dash has significantly impacted Jamaican culture. For example, Vincent Randichin, along with his wife Patricia, through their label VP Records, were instrumental in promoting the careers of artists such as Beenie Man and Sean Paul. Okay, so what should go there? The Chinese Jamaican what? So you're saying culture, but remember we use culture already. Rejma, you're saying the Chinese Jamaican ethnic group. Okay. Okay. Tanya, you're saying heritage for there. Okay. Denisha, you're saying heritage should go in that blank. Okay. We'll soon see what should go there. All right. In 2013, Tessan Chin, a representative of the Jamaican Chinese Dash, was named winner of season 5 of the Voice Talent competition in the United States. So, what should go after Tesson Chin, a representative of the Jamaican Chinese what? Okay, I see everybody saying heritage. All right, some person saying ethnic group. All right, so let's see the answers that we have here. Jaquan, I see you saying heritage. All right, so let's look at the answers. Now, the beautiful thing with the Learning Hub, when you see a lot of test your knowledge, it means that a lot of the times you'll be able to look at the answers. Okay, so here we have the answers in bold. In the period following the abolition of slavery in Jamaica, East Indians and Chinese migrants entered into contracts. So that first blank was contracts, in which they agreed to come to the Caribbean to work. This system was known as indentureship. The indentured servants eventually began mixing and sharing their own culture, which included specific foods, cuisine, dance, music, religion, jewelry, and fashion. Aspects of their culture can today be observed within traditional Caribbean celebrations, such as the Trinidad Carnival and Jamaica Food and Drink Festival should go there. Some of these migrant laborers decided to settle in the Caribbean and become immigrants instead of returning to their homeland. Among the contributions of the East Indian population to the Jamaican culture is the celebration of Jose, which symbolizes the creative exchanges made between East Indians and African Creole cultures. The Chinese Jamaican ethnic group should go there as significantly impacted Jamaican culture. For example, Vincent Randy Chin, along with his wife Patricia, through their label VP Records, were instrumental in promoting the careers of artists such as Beenie Man and Sean Paul. In 2013, Tesson Chin, a representative of the Jamaican Chinese heritage, was named the winner of season 5 of the Voice Talent competition in the United States. All right, so those are the answers. All right, so we're going to look at one other thing. You guys can do this in your own time. It's a word search. So once you're on the Learning Hub, you have an opportunity to actually do an interactive word search. So this is should be pretty relaxing. I'm gonna make this, and I mean this is interactive, so the system will actually mark the work for you. So we're looking for indentureship, contracts. Let's see if we can find one word. So I'm seeing contract, C-O-N-T-R-A-C-T. So if you find it, all you have to do is do like that, and you found the word. So if you can find festival, I mean, this is a little bit addictive. I don't want to spend the night doing that. But this is just for fun, guys. So we're actually on the same activity to learn the terms, and we have a number of things that we use to help you. All right, so this is just word search. All right, so I'm going to stop here for this lesson. And I'm going to find some time tomorrow to look at the arrival of the various ethnic groups to the Caribbean. We're going to look at places of origin. We're going to look at push and pull factors, and these are all on your curriculum. So if we could knock off the first part of the social studies curriculum, that would put us in a good space. And I think we can do that tomorrow. So we just start early, and I am thinking about 12 o'clock, and we should be able to, knock off some of this, arrival of the various ethnic groups, places of origin, push and pull and push factors, and Chinese and East Indians on the plantation. At least these we should be able to do tomorrow. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you're on the Learning Hub, read up ahead of time. So here's a nice little interactive book that you can read up on the Chinese. And you have a little quiz at the end that you can use. And here is another on the East Indians. So this is a nice interactive book. As again, you can go through this in your own time, and you have a test your knowledge quiz on the system that you can use. Okay. And then, of course, you have the timeline. You have the timeline. Yeah, this is something that the curriculum, the Ministry of Education's curriculum wants you to do. You should be able to, do a timeline diagram showing the arrival of the various ethnic groups. All right, guys, I see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining this evening. And remember, so tomorrow at 12, we'll be on our live Facebook Live. And remember, if you have friends who are preparing for their PEP exam, just let them know that all these videos that we're doing on our live sessions, they can actually go and watch them on Pep Talk with Dr. Charlotte Ashmon. That's my channel, and that's on YouTube. And of course, I do post them to Facebook as well. All right, you guys have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow at noon. If you have questions, feel free to just send me a WhatsApp. I'm going to put my WhatsApp information at the bottom, and someone from my team will respond to you. All right? Have a great evening. See you in my next video. Bye-bye.